there, and welcome to Connecticut Style. I'm Teresa LaBarbera. We're so glad you're joining us today. Coming up, as we all know too well from Hurricane Sandy, in the blink of an eye, homes and businesses can be destroyed. Today, disaster relief photography tells us about providing proof of what you have before you lose it. Plus, a team from Aspen Dental faced challenging conditions in Haiti to deliver dental care to the people of Haiti. We'll hear all about their inspiring trip. And from Guilford Public Schools, I'm here with Chef Tim Cipriano, the newly appointed Food Services Director, along with Joanna Andinolfi, the cook manager. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Tim, this is a new job here for you. How's
New
it going
job,
so
new
far?
challenge. It's going great. It's a lot of fun. It's another opportunity to teach more kids about where the food comes from and how to get real food into the stomachs of these kids.
All right, Andrea, what are we making today?
Sweet potato chips and kale chips.
Wow, interesting. Kind of a healthy alternative, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so we wanted to do something with fresh veggies that we can feed to the kids, but with an interesting twist.
Yeah,
Because
everyone loves chips, right?
Right, and giving kids just regular veggies, you know, everyone's like, oh, kids don't like veggies. So if we mix it up a little bit and do something a little bit different, hopefully the kids will eat them and like them, and
Sounds good to me.
we're doing the good stuff.
All right, well, guys, let's start the show. Look right into camera 2. Tell everyone what they need to do.
Sit back and relax.
You're having lunch with style.
My daughter asked me why my teeth look funny.
My wife didn't want to kiss me.
I could barely chew my food.
You know how that feels?
I had to do something.
I called Aspen Dental. They treated my problem.
They treated me like a human being.
Right now, get payments as low as $25 per month. And new patients get a free exam and x-rays. That's a savings of $215. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
I didn't just get my smile back.
I got my life back.
Today, you might be missing out with satellite, but tomorrow, you could turn your living room into a multiplex. With Xfinity On Demand, you get thousands of hit movies, TV shows, and more, on TV and online. 90% are free, and you can stream them anytime and anywhere. Satellite has nothing like this. For a limited time, get Xfinity TV for $29.99 a month for 12 months, plus HD DVR service free for 3 months. Just call 1-877-793-9404. With HD DVR service, you can record and watch your favorites on your own schedule. For a limited time, you can switch to Xfinity TV from Comcast for $29.99 a month for 12 months. Plus, get HD DVR service free for 3 months. Make tomorrow awesome and switch today. Hurry, offer ends December 9th. So call 1-877-793-9404. That's 1-877-793-9404. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
In a country where there's just one dentist for every 100,000 people, a team from Aspen Dental recently volunteered their time and talents to bring smiles to the people of Haiti. Dr. Shedley Shatsy-Vincent is the owner of Aspen Dental practices in Fairfield and Norwalk and joins me now. Welcome back, doctor. So about 2 weeks ago you returned?
Yes, yeah.
And how was it? I mean, I'm assuming there must have been hundreds of people that wanted to see you.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. The organization that we went with, Restore Haiti, they advertised for us that we were going to be there, but you know, the first day that we got there and the patients that we saw, they just started, you know, talking about it, word of mouth spread, and we were there for a week, and every day there were just more and more people that were there.
And how many patients were you seeing a day?
I don't know, I would say maybe about 100 patients.
Oh
there
my
were
gosh.
a total of 3 dentists and 2 hygienists, so.
There was definitely a need for it.
Oh, absolutely a need for it. In Haiti, there's about, let's say, 350 dentists allocated for 9 million people.
Oh my goodness.
So they are really in need for dental care.
And where exactly did you go in Haiti?
So we went to Jacmel, which is a city that's about 2 hours north of the main capital, Port-au-Prince. So they picked us up at the airport, and we trekked our way up there by truck.
Wow.
And it was a great experience.
What are the conditions like in that city?
It's a poor city. You know, they're below the poverty line. You know, the clinic that was there was kind of like a makeshift clinic. So, you know, we did what we had to do. But the amount of people that came were just pretty amazing.
I think we're looking at some pictures now. We saw the team from Aspen Dental. What's going on here? Is that you, Doc?
That is me, and working on a young boy. There, unfortunately, a lot of people that came never seen dentists before, never saw a dentist. So a lot of them came with teeth that were already rotted. This young girl here, she had an abscess on an upper tooth, and from that abscess, you could just see the swelling that has gone up to her eye. And they're just so afraid of the dentist, and we mentioned that we gave them antibiotics, and we said you absolutely have to come back to get that tooth pulled. But you know, it's a fear for them to get work done because they're just not used to it.
Right, they haven't been doing it their whole life. The conditions were everything? Were there, the hygienist was doing cleanings?
The hygienists were doing cleanings, and we were doing a lot of extractions because, you know, like I said, unfortunately, by the time they get to us, you know, a lot of the teeth are rotted and you can't save them. They're broken to the gum line. We also did fillings. The teeth that we could save, we did fillings, which was something that we really appreciated because, you know, our purpose
that hurts,
is,
right? That could hurt if you don't get that filled.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, our purpose is we want to save teeth. So for us to do the fillings that we were able to do to save the teeth were amazing, especially on the front teeth because a lot of them came with like broken teeth. But it was a little bit hard because they don't have electricity. You know, so the electricity runs intermittently. They don't have it like throughout the day. So we had to use generators. This is the whole team that went with us.
How many were there?
There were 3 dentists and 2 hygienists.
Oh, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you have to turn people away at the end?
Yes, we did. And it was a hard thing to do because, like I said, you know, word of mouth spread. And by the last day, there just were like lines and lines of people that were waiting. And we actually extended out hours last day. And there were people still waiting, trying to get in.
Now, why are these missions so critical? Is it because it's such a poor country and they don't have access to dental care?
Exactly. They don't have the access to dental care. And for us to get there and help any way that we can, it's amazing. And, you know, just not in, you know, the work and procedures that we do, but just in the education that they get, you know, every day. And, you know, handing out the supplies that they need, like toothbrush and floss and toothpaste, makes a difference because things like that that are just, you know, so common for us are not common for them.
And we've talked about so many times on this show that your oral health really affects your general health.
Yeah.
So it's so important to get the care.
Absolutely.
Do you think you'd do something like this again?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we definitely want to go back next year. And they are waiting for us to come back. When we were there, they said, can you come back to us next month?
Oh,
which I wish we could, but definitely next year.
Very good. Well, Dr. Vincent, thank you for what you do, and thanks for sharing with us. Let's put some information up on the screen. To get a hold of Aspen Dental, you can call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL or visit their website at aspendental.com. All right, thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
All right, up next, Chef Tim Cipriano shows us how to put a healthy twist on chips. That's when Style returns. Don't go anywhere.
I'm News 8's Ann Craig. Our state has the 2nd highest incidence rate of breast cancer in the country. Let's take a stand. Be a part of Pink Power. Find out how at WTNH.com.
Pink Power is sponsored by St. Francis Hospital and Medical Center.
An episode so daring, so do not miss. It tops EW's must list. Scandal, all new Thursday, 10/9 Central on ABC.
Tim Allen is back. Yeah, come on now. All new Last Man Standing Friday on ABC.
Hi, I'm Dave Director, owner of Connecticut Lighting Centers. We're celebrating 40 years of honesty, integrity, and a focused drive to satisfy every customer's need.
We're your destination for unique and affordable fun holiday gifts. You'll find cool stuff for everyone on your shopping list. Go to ctlighting.com and get ideas for your holiday gifts in our gift brochure featuring Framberg Lighting.
Connecticut Lighting Centers, we put the accent on your home.
Welcome to Math Corner with Bob's of Milford.
If the speed limit is 65, how long will it take you to find financing?
From Bridgeport, about 10 minutes. From New Haven, about 15 minutes. From Milford, no time at all.
When you visit Bob's of Milford, you could get financed on a new or used car regardless of your credit history.
It's not rocket science.
No, it's math.
Bob's of Milford.
He just wants to get you a loan.
Open Sundays.
In the fight to control childhood obesity, students need access on a regular basis to fresh local food. And someone who has been instrumental in the Chef's Move to Schools program is Chef Tim Cipriano. Tim is now the food service director for the town of Guilford, and he's joined by Joanne Adinolfi, the cook manager. Hey guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So right off the bat, we got to ask you about Chops. So how cool was that experience?
Chopped was an amazing experience
Yeah.
and a great platform to talk about No Kid Hungry and about ending childhood hunger.
And
so that was my kind of ticket to talk about how important this cause is to me.
How'd you do?
So, well, I did great. I made it through the first round.
That's important. That's
with
great.
flying colors, and then I got chopped in the entree round.
That's all right. It's all about the experience, right?
But it was a great experience, and it was a lot of fun.
And Tim, I also know that you were recognized by the White House at Champion of Change.
I was.
That's awesome.
And that's an amazing experience. Just to work with the administration to change school food for the better is a great opportunity.
Right, now, Joanne, you are with Guilford Public Schools.
Yes.
Now, have you guys started reaching out to local farms and cooking that way?
We're supposed to be starting that.
Oh, great.
We're in the works.
In the works, yeah.
That's fabulous.
The growing season is over, so.
Valid point, Tim. That's true.
It's a little bit difficult, but we're starting to make those and start those conversations to work with the local farms to get in much better produce in our schools.
Very good. What are we going to make today?
We're making sweet potato chips and we're making kale chips. So.
How do we get started?
All right, so I'm going to start cutting the sweet potatoes, and then Joanne's going to start with the kale. We're going to work simultaneously,
Sounds
like
good.
synchronized cooking. And so
that looks dangerous, that thing.
it's a mandolin, and if you don't use the
A mandolin? I thought it was an instrument.
well, we're a little fancy here.
You are.
It's a knife laying on its side, and
Okay.
you have this cool little gadget that holds it in place. Because if you don't use this little gadget, you will slice your hand, and that's not going to be too fun.
You don't have to skin those potatoes, sweet potatoes?
No, we keep the skin on. It has all the vital vitamins and nutrients in the skin.
Okay.
So we're going to just cut up a couple sweet potatoes, and then we're going to mix them with some olive oil,
Okay.
a little bit of brown sugar.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Joanne, don't worry, we're not racing here.
It's not chopped or whatever.
Go ahead. You first.
Some salt and pepper. That's it. We'll just toss them up. We're going to put them on a sheet pan with parchment paper, and we're going to throw them in a 400-degree oven. It's a very simple recipe. It's kid-friendly because kids love chips.
Yeah, that's true.
So we just want to do something. We serve this in our schools. We had it last week at the middle schools, and it went over great. We're going to just lay them out in the pan. Nice for TV.
Good.
You can just throw them on any way you want, but you want to keep a single layer because then they're just going to cook so much better.
Now, are they going to get crunchy in the oven?
They're not going to get really crunchy. I mean, some of the really thin ones might get crunchy, but these are going to come out. They're going to be a little bit chewy, but they're fun. I mean, we can cut them. We cut them a little bit smaller in the schools because we use a slicer as opposed to the mandolin. But it's simple.
Yeah,
so then we
not
just
bad.
throw these in the oven, and they cook for about 20 minutes.
Oh, good. We'll try them at the end of the show. Now,
And
I'm
then we'll try 'em at
intrigued
the
by
end
these
of the
kale chips. How does this work? You bake the kale?
Same way. Yep. You do the same thing. You toss them in the olive oil with the salt and pepper.
Okay.
And bake them, and they come out crunchy.
Joanne, I want to ask you about Lunch Lady Boot Camp. What's that all about?
Oh, it was pretty interesting. We had some pretty cool people come in and teach us some techniques, and these were two of them, actually.
Hence the T-shirt, right?
Yes.
That's great.
So we're just going to spread these out in the pan. You want to keep them kind of away from each other,
All right.
just so they cook. Oven set at 300. We throw it in the oven for 15 minutes, and they come out perfect.
Pretty easy. So I want to ask you, what are some of the favorite meals in Guilford that the kids are eating?
Oh, let's see. They like the baked chicken that we've added to the menu, which is healthier.
Is that on the bone? I remember we had that
Of
before.
course it's on the bone, you know?
Yep.
We're starting to incorporate real mashed potatoes.
Oh, good.
They come out of a bag and we wash them, the same as we've done in the past. but just a little bit more fun, and we're going to incorporate, because of the new Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act, which increases the nutrition of the school meals program, we need to add more fresh fruits and vegetables to all our meals. So we wanted to be creative, and how do we get to that? And sweet potato chips and
Good
kale
start.
chips are, a good start, and we need to serve orange and green veggies once a week. So we need to find creative ways how to do
For
it.
kids to eat 'em.
One of our other managers roasts chickpeas, because we need to serve legumes and beans to the kids once a week, and that's really a great way to get beans in the kids, because they're not.
Sometimes they don't realize what they're eating,
They don't realize
right?
what they're eating.
That's
yeah.
good.
So we're just trying to do fun and creative ways
sounds
to
great.
feed kids good food.
All right, we're going to taste the chips at the end of the show. Thanks so much for being here, guys.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, the importance of disaster relief photography when style returns. Don't go anywhere.
This apartment building was damaged by Hurricane Sandy, forcing its residents out. And they say their landlord still hasn't fixed the place up.
Every day you call the office and they say, well, they're going to start working today. And every day nothing happens.
No, I'm loaded with anxiety. I'm unemployed, so it's kind of hard for me to find another place.
Well, we're fighting hard to get these people back into their homes. Who's got your back? News 8.
This is a special message from AT&T.
It's no secret that the price of things just keeps going up.
But we have some good news. It's our bundle price promise.
A price you can definitely count on for 2 whole years. From AT&T.
A great price for a great triple play bundle.
Call now. Bundles with Uverse TV, internet, and home phone start at $89 a month. Now get the same great price for 2 years.
Switch today and get a total home DVR included, free for life.
You get reliable high-speed internet on our advanced digital network. Choose from speeds up to 24 megs.
And with Uverse TV, you can record 4 shows at once on your total home DVR and play them back in any room.
So call now. Uverse triple play bundles start at $89 a month. Now get the same great price for 2 years.
With a total home DVR included, free for life.
It's a triple play bundle that's hard to beat. Same great price, 2 whole years. Price promise.
That has a nice ring to it.
Only from AT&T.
As we saw from Hurricane Sandy, all it takes is one major storm, flood, or fire to destroy all the things you've worked so hard for. But did you know that most people won't be able to provide proof to settle even the most basic of claims? Dave Grillo is a licensed insurance agent as well as the creator of Disaster Relief Photography. Dave, thank you for coming on Connecticut Style.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your background first.
I'm a licensed insurance agent in Connecticut for, sad to say, about 27 years.
My whole life. What do you know? Just kidding.
Sad.
Dave, most people have insurance, but you're saying that's probably not enough.
Well, the contracts themselves inherently say that you need to have and show proof whenever necessary.
Okay, so this is where disaster relief photography comes in.
Correct.
Tell us what it is.
Well, what we do is we're a digital inventory company. We will come into your home or business and take digital inventories of everything that you have, including the structure, mechanicals, right down to the wiring. So you will definitely be prepared in the event that you can't be in the home. Because a lot of people forget that you have a fire or whatever, you can't be in the home.
Right.
So you need to be able to get to your inventory wherever you're going to be.
Now you mentioned residential and business. Is there a certain area where people should particularly do this, where they live, or does that not matter?
No, that doesn't matter. If there's an insurance contract in force, you need to have it.
All right, now is this something you could do yourself, or there are a lot more benefits to having a service come and do it?
You can definitely do it yourself.
Okay.
I think it's probably on everybody's to-do list, but it never gets done. So that's where we come into play. And being a disinterested third party, that's very important. You know, because I have no reason to make up anything, or the insurance companies like it when we're in the home.
All right, let me ask you, what are some of the general requirements after a disaster? Like, what is it that you should do?
Well, first of all, you definitely need to call your agent and make sure everybody's safe. I mean, really, that's the key to it all. Make sure everybody's safe. That's what insurance is for. They'll take care of you from there. But yeah, stopping further damage. You know, these are all requirements, but you never know. You never know where you're going to be, like in New York.
That's true. But this is a service that really could save clients hundreds of dollars. I mean, you could tell us a story about lightning, how that affected someone once, right?
Yeah, there was a small foundry in Ansonia, and they had a 70-foot chimney, and lightning had struck it and threw bricks all around and hit neighbors' houses and things of that nature. And they were trying to put in a claim saying that the chimney was damaged and it should have been repaired. But we had done the service, and I showed everyone that the chimney was fine. And it was, you know, their claims were denied because there was nothing wrong with that chimney.
Okay. Now, when you go into a house, what exactly are you looking for? Everything?
I want everything.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I want everything. Yeah, because it's a lot of times the small things that add up. You know, pictures of loved ones and paintings, you know, things that are you can't replace. They'll be on my site, and maybe you can replace them later.
What about like jewelry, that type of thing?
Jewelry is key, but it's also a separate issue as far as insurance is concerned. So we're very careful when it comes to what they call scheduled items.
I gotcha. Okay, well, tell me about a special offer for Connecticut Style viewers. This is great.
Well, I'm just thinking that, you know, if you're watching the show, then maybe we should offer you a 10% discount.
I think that's a great idea, Dave.
Hey, we'll come to your home.
Also, and on the website, you provide the Money Saver. What's that about?
I wrote an article on how to save money on auto and home insurance. It's a pretty in-depth report, and I'm giving that away free on the site if you want to just go and
log
download
on, check it out.
That's correct.
All right, and it also says that you're looking for photographers. Who's eligible?
You know, it's not as easy as you'd think, but I think anyone with a large database of businesses and homes, like real estate agents, insurance agents, photographers, I think any of those people would be very qualified to open a very lucrative business.
All right. And how'd you come up with the idea? Just realize there was a need for it?
Well, being an insurance agent, it kind of made it almost like a mandatory thing. I was doing it when it was just, I was taking pictures, like film.
Sure.
Does anybody know what film is?
Of course.
But then digital came around, and it made this business boom.
All right, very good. Well, let's put some information up on the screen. To learn more about disaster relief photography, you can call 877-798-1790 or visit drp-llc.com. No dash, drpllc.com.
.org.
.org. All
Let's get
right.
that right. Come on.
Now we got it right. Thank you so much for being here. Stay with us.
Thank
More
you.
style after the break. We'll be right back.
Each week, the marquee matchups in the battle for the national championship take place in the national spotlight. Saturday Night Football, presented by Windows 8, all season long on ABC. College football lives here.
Texas at Kansas State this Saturday at 8 p.m. on News 8. Brought to you locally by Town Fair Tire and your local Connecticut Toyota dealers.
When people think about auto insurance, everybody has their own definition of value. If you're looking for the best value, call Amica. A great price is just the beginning. We'll also dig deeper and find every discount that you're eligible for, even some you might not know about. So call Amica now at 877-52-AMICA. A great price plus the coverage and service you deserve. That's the value of Amica Auto Insurance. How do you decide which auto insurance is right for you? It depends on your formula for value. That's why you should call Amica, because there are so many reasons to switch. We're a mutual company owned by our customers. So when you call, you talk directly to a company that always puts its customers first. So call 877-52-AMICA now and discover the full value of Amica Auto Insurance.
So as we know, heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, but you may not be aware of some of the visible warning signs. ABC's Sharon Alfonsi has this story.
They are the clues hidden in plain sight. Look closely at her eyes, his ears, those fingertips. What can they really tell us about the health of your heart? Everything. This 74-year-old man has an increased risk for heart disease. and we can tell just by looking at him. How? Well, look at his earlobe. At the crease on his ears. He allowed us to get up close and personal.
Did you ever notice that little crease in your ear before?
Well, I notice it because it's mine, but I pay no attention to it, just like my nose.
But Dr. Michael Wald says you should pay attention to it. He's a detective of sorts, and that crease is actually a clue.
You want to look and see if there's a diagonal earlobe crease. That really is an infolding of tissue, and that's what's been associated with some heart disease.
One study shows that coronary artery disease is significantly more prevalent in people with a diagonal earlobe crease. Now, look even deeper into the ear.
And this is kind of gross, but you say we should be looking at our earwax.
Yes. We're basically born genetically with one of two different types of earwax. There's a wet, sticky type and a dry, kind of brittle type. And if you're more of the dry, brittle type, you're at a higher risk of heart disease.
Doctors believe it could have something to do with the way people's bodies handle oil and fat. Our hands hide clues too. One of the biggest indicators of heart disease is something called nail clubbing.
Where the tips of the finger, the tissue gets thicker, and it kind of starts to cover up the end of the nail.
Studies show 80% of people with clubbed fingernails have serious illnesses like heart disease, lung disease, or cancer. Thin calves, less than 13 inches around, could also signal heart problems.
I thought just meant you weren't working out your calves enough, but no, this is an actual problem.
Sometimes small calves reflect issues with circulation and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease.
All right, interesting stuff there. And we're back in the kitchen with all of our guests. And Dave, one more time, I would like the website for disaster relief photography, please.
It's www.drpllc.org.
All right, very good. And Tim, how'd you finish these off here?
So
Pulled them out of the oven?
Yeah, we pull them out of the oven and they're ready to go and ready to try. And I just want to say that, you know, all this great stuff that happens in schools and school food, I couldn't do it without workers and managers and, you know, my staff.
Yeah.
In all the districts I worked in, I mean, we were able to do a lot of great things, but because of the staff, that's really what helps me make a difference.
Sure, it's come a long way since I've been eating school lunches, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's changed in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, can we try one of these?
Yeah, eat up. These are really good.
Fantastic. At least healthy snacks for everybody. And of course, we'll have the recipe over on WTNH.com. We want to thank all of you at home for watching. Make it a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
That's different.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.